When it comes to finding your purpose, a lot of people struggle with what direction to head in. Not taking action on this will leave you lost, hopeless, and nowhere in life.
Hello team, and welcome back to another episode of the Finding Success podcast. We are back, we are making changes. We've had January off, but it's fine. We're back. Things are changing around here. We're improving things, we're adapting, we're overcoming. We had a massive January, me and both my co-host Alex over there. How you doing, mate, by the way? I haven't introduced you yet.
All good, mate, all good. Living the dream yourself.
Of course you are. Yeah, really good, mate. As I've said, we've adapted the podcast. We're overcoming new challenges. We're bringing new content for you guys, and we're really excited about it all. So, without further ado, can we talk about our January? Because we're still obviously in January, but we want to talk about how our initial start to January was. I want to get that out of the way first. For all the people that have missed our weekly conversations.
When we've been working together, or just
working together? Yeah, because we've been working.
We've been working. We've not been slacking off.
No.
We know we've not posted all month, but it's not an issue. It's going to be better for you guys. It's going to be better for us. We're going to give you more value, more content, just better stuff all round.
That's right.
And I think we've been able to do this because we've had a good reset, good chat, and sorting ourselves out, like refocused, and really almost doubling down on this podcast, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, 100%. Well, today I think we're going to get straight into it. I'm not going to mess around too much. And we're going to talk about purpose, find your purpose more specifically. We've got a few keynotes that we're going to talk about, but we want to drive home. And as you've seen by the intro, this is one of the most important things you have to do in your life. If you don't do this, you're going to be left behind every single other person out there. People that are like the wealthy are doing this, the rich are doing this, people that want to be someone are doing these techniques, are doing these things. So please listen, follow, rate, share, subscribe, all the episodes that we've got going, and get a notepad and pen. It's going to be very, very powerful, so don't miss that. And let's get straight into it.
Nice. Firstly, finding your purpose. What is purpose? I feel like a lot of people don't really know what purpose is because it's never talked about at school, is it? It's never talked about around the dinner table. It's never really a discussion that is readily available. Even talking about it to friends and so on, it's a bit like, oh, you want to find your purpose? You don't know what it is, huh? Actually, they don't know what it is themselves, I'm sure, if you're speaking to people like that. If you find you're almost in a level of depression or upset with life, you're not happy in the way you are, the way you're living your life, chances are you've not found your purpose and you're not excited by life. Like, if you find your purpose and you start chasing it, you should be excited by life. Yeah. You know, it's not easy to find it. It's not easy to know exactly what it is, but even just finding your purpose is a fantastic skill.
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, it's a unique passion of skills or something you do, like a hobby. Like we always say, find your hobby to start a business, right? Your purpose is basically all of your hobbies, all of your passions, all of your drives, and all of your special points in life, and we use that as an emotional state to drive our life forwards. That's how I'm going to go about purpose for me, my definition of purpose.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's like exactly all those factors come into it. It's and they're so unique to each individual person.
Absolutely, there's not one skill, one purpose for every person.
For a line, yeah, exactly. Even between you and I,
absolutely, yeah.
You know, the reasons why, etc., behind the purposes are slightly different, which means our purpose is slightly different. We get slightly different kicks out of different parts of life.
Yeah.
And that is a beauty, and that's partly the beauty of life. No,
absolutely, like,
it's so unique to yourself. Getting all hippy dippy straight into this first episode, February 2nd. Come on. What do people struggle with the most when it comes to finding their purpose?
The thing is, for me, and I think a lot of people struggle with. So we're going to talk about this as regards to doing a business or starting a business, right? Okay. I think we'll just lay that out there to start off with. So, and we've had this topic in my household quite a lot recently. Is what can I do with regards to starting a business? How can I find a business that I want to get into? And the first thing is identify what you love doing.
Love that.
So, I mean, whether that be walking dogs, whether it be fixing computers, playing darts, playing video games, fixing cars, whatever that may be, like we said with your passions, find your passions out and use that to focus on your business. And we've already said that there's many different income streams across the whole world. No purpose that we're going to talk about today is specific to you. It could be to many other different people. But remember, find out what you truly love doing. And there's so many things in this world. I mean, lighting, for instance.
Yeah.
People love lights, right? They've got so many flashing lights. Exactly. But
do, yeah.
if one of your passions is lights and light bulbs and different glistens and shades of light, make that into a business or make that into your passion and dive into it and see what you like about it and find a purpose within that. There's so many different things that we can do with lighting, but
it's a whole industry in itself, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. Look,
in filming, in podcasting, in any sort of environment where there's filming involved, essentially, lighting people are... It's not a lighting people, that sounds quite crude, but that industry is so important. The knowledge, how deep you can go into it. We've watched videos on lighting and how to set up studios and stuff, and we haven't got the best setup. You can go further and further and further.
Of course you can. Yeah.
And it's almost like a bottomless pit, and you wouldn't think it. It's just lighting.
Yeah.
But somebody out there really dug deep and really enjoyed it and just snowballed and have discovered all these things and how to make the best lighting possible. So it's...
What they've done, is made that and consider their strengths. So maybe you have a specific eye for lights. Okay. Now again, like when you start a skill at school, like playing football or rugby, you might not necessarily enjoy that sport, but you might just have something that is a strength for you. Maybe you're a big lad, you're quite strong, and at rugby players, they're all big lads, they're quite strong and they're fairly quick. So if you have all those things without even knowing it, your strengths are set out for you to be a really good rugby player. Eye for taking pictures.
Yeah.
People who take good pictures don't just pick up a camera and start flashing away and pick the best one. They've got an eye for certain things and certain topics and lighting, like we said.
And they enjoy the development of the skill.
Exactly.
Or development of their strengths.
So they consider their strengths and go about them and then look at their values and see where the two align, and then that could make their purpose out of life. And this, again, isn't just about business. It could be any single part of your life that you're finding purpose in, whether it be relationships, sport, hobbies, whatever it may be. Really pay attention to what your strengths are. Really look at your values and go, where can I take this? And find the purpose that you need to work on or who you want to be.
I think influencers are quite cool to look at.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they've basically done it. They've identified what they love doing. How many influencers do you see? The running. I have a lot of fitness ones on my Instagram because I'm quite into the fitness industry, and I think it's enjoyable content to watch. But all of them are doing what they love on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, whatever they're doing. They found what they love doing and just start projecting it to the world. And obviously people resonate with it because it's true to their purpose. It's true. It's authentically them coming through the camera. There's no one else. It's not like some fake shady crap going on. And they've stuck to their strengths. They've considered their strengths. Like what's the influencer? Tom Trotter. He's a runner. He sells programs online. He does triathlons himself. He does Ironmans, I believe. All those sorts of things. But his strength is fitness. He is naturally quite a fit lad. So he just sells it and he just puts it all over Instagram, makes an absolute fortune. He doesn't actually work day to day.
No.
He is essentially an influencer that gets paid.
How did you find your purpose?
Took a lot of digging. We did a lot of paperwork, just asking questions. Like, we tend to ask ourselves a question and just think of the first answer. And I found there was this one technique that we learned from someone we learned from, and it was the 3 whys. You have to ask yourself why 3 times.
Yeah.
So say you've come up with an answer for a question. I'm going to try and think of one now. Like, why do I like cars? Because it's quite exciting and fast. Why? Why is it quite exciting and fast? Well, there's raw power. It's just cool engineering. I find the fact that humans have made these things come alive, and I feel like there's a character. Why do you feel like that? And you just keep going deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And then you really come to the bottom of why you quite enjoy something. And I think you should always, if you do have a strength in a particular category or in sports or in education, reading, whatever it is, or whatever you're into, go do a deep dive, ask the 3 whys, constantly go over and over and really be honest with yourself. That's the hardest thing people struggle with, being totally honest with themselves. Because you give yourself a short answer, and that's not the way to find your purpose.
No.
What about yourself? What have you done to?
Well, for me, I'm going to go into investing. Obviously, we love looking at markets, and I told you the story already, how I got into it, and I'll tell you again at some point. But the thing is, for me, it always comes up in my head. There's something that I cannot stop thinking about, that I purposely want to look at on my phone, that I want to seek more information on, that I want to grow and be a better person in, and that is stocks and shares and Forex. And so, like, when I see that, and I'm not consuming that daily, I almost miss it. I almost miss that, like, I wonder what this stock's doing today. I miss the looking at, oh my God, it's dropped down, 5%, I can buy some more. Or, I'm always looking at the markets because I feel that is a passion for me. I'm looking at PE ratio, I'm looking at PB ratio, like, oh my God, there's, all these different metrics that we look at that to some people is actually completely boring and waste of time. But to me, I find really exciting.
It's a fun little game.
Exactly. And that is my joy. And again, why? Well, because I enjoy the little intricate bits of a business and how a business earns money and what the owner is doing and continuing going down into that. The basis is it's a joy and a passion and a love for me. Which is, again, why it's so easy to continuously wake up every single day and look at that and purposely work on that. I've identified what I love doing. So when I've identified that, it's fairly easy to continue to grow on it, make it easier. Consider the strengths. Well, maybe I'm not the best, but my returns have been pretty fucking good. And I've looked at values and looked at my values, and they align quite nicely. So why would I not continue to do that and keep diving into that rabbit hole that is something that I love doing?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there with evaluating your values. You've looked at, so we say as well, there's episodes in the past, I'm sure we'll go through them again. I think, like, this new fresh audience we have, we're going to go through all of them and do them in a better light, a more modern version, basically. But finding your values, we recommend having 5 values.
Yeah,
they could be anything: health, wealth, happiness. Yeah, you got to find them for you, and it takes time. That's another thing. Just like finding your purpose, it takes time to work out your values. What do you truly prioritize in life? Like, is your family the most important thing to you? Would you go and see them over going to see the lads at the pub?
Yeah.
Would you go and see them over going to the gym at night? All those sorts of things. And it's really, really tough, but it's working out what your values are, and they will help you align with your purpose as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, your values are health and wealth and so on. Wealth is a massive one for both of us.
Absolutely. And
investing is a part of that, and it's a very key part of that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a long way, so that's why it's so enriching to you to be able to do.
I think another one as well for me is a childhood dream. Not necessarily like, I've dreamt, like the kid has the dream of being a firefighter or being a police officer or an astronaut. Like, my dream was of really, and this is going to sound a bit waste of space-ish, not doing much and earn loads of money. And like, I like to be fit and healthy, but I also like to earn money. And the two things sort of don't really combine, because when you're sitting around doing nothing, you're not really being fit and healthy. But at the same time, you can go and work out because you buy yourself time. Your time free. And one of my childhood dreams was literally to sit at home and just have lots of money. And I think, without realising and being honest to yourself, a lot of people just want to do that anyway. I think a lot of people just want to sit around and earn lots of money, right? That's a lot of dreams for many, many people. Yeah. But there's different ways that we can earn money, different income streams, X, Y, Z. But going back to your childhood dreams is something that you'll probably find a purpose in. If you look at your childhood dreams, you'll go, well, actually, I've kind of ended up in that segment or that sector or that industry. I mean, for me, again, initially it was cars. It still has been cars for a long period of time. And that's where I've ended up. I've ended up being a mechanic. So like that is fallen into almost tuition. That dream has come true, and it's just now on to another dream that I had as a child, and it's just continues to grow. So again, there's so many ways that we can find purposes, but I just want to give you a few tips to write them down that you can work on. So write these things down before doing anything, and then think about and answer every single question. So identify what you love doing. We already spoke about that. Consider your strengths, whether you're strong in the gym, strong at home, whatever. Strong at cooking, good at baking.
Yeah.
Brownies, just saying.
So many options. Yeah.
So consider your strengths, yeah. Your values, what are they? Evaluate them, look at them, figure out what is truly meaningful to you. felt like you said, family, friends, gym, health, whatever that may be, and recall your childhood dreams and go from there. And just sort of write all these things down. Write those few sentences down, those key points, and just answer yourself or ask yourself those 3 things. Okay, what do I love doing? Why do I love doing it? And then, like I said, the 3 whys, you continue breaking it down, have a look into that, and just go from there and see where it takes you. And seriously have a look at those answers and go from there. It's really, really simple.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's a beautiful place to end, Dodds. I'm going to leave it there. Next week, going to do a little bit of dealing with hates and judgment from people, all right? So it's a really good episode coming up next week. I'd highly recommend listening in, tuning in. That'll be the 9th of Feb. That's quick maths, what you're saying.
Wow.
Don't forget, please, guys, like, share, subscribe. Wherever you listen to this podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, YouTube, please just share and subscribe. It helps us get out to the world and help more people just like you guys. And hopefully you guys enjoy it as you're still here with us. So, yeah, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.